What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about what sucks about being broke, or like what sucks about working at an average 9 to 5 job, or like what sucks about being financially limited, right? So I'm gonna get to it. So what sucks about being broke or being financially limited, if you're working at an average 9 to 5, is the fact that, or if you're working at for minimum wage and shit like that, it's the fact that you don't have the proper freedom to actually like do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who are like kind of crazy and psychotic. So I'm not talking about doing your own thing to cause some bullshit or cause destruction. No, but what I'm saying is like having freedom in terms of like just traveling around the world, doing the things you love to do. Like, let's say if you want to hang out with your family, if you want to hang out with your loved ones, if you want to hang out with anyone, right? What sucks about being restricted financially is that like you can't even do that. So, and not only that, but we're forced to do things out of survival. Don't get me wrong, it's one thing where you love what you do, but the pay is not good, I guess is another thing. But this video is more so talking about what sucks about finances keeping you stuck in life. You could do what you love, but if the finances is not giving you freedom, then I'm not saying this is a problem, but like there are restrictions, there are limitations. But if you're doing what you love, eventually I feel like if you do what you love but the pay is not good, then I feel like either the universe is going to open more opportunities for you, or you're going to create more opportunities for yourself doing what you love. So either way, you're going to be abundant regardless. And it's up to spirit if they want to grant you with fucking finances and shit, or however it works, right? But basically what sucks that I'm going to talk about limitations, right? So you can't travel around the world. You can't really do the things you want to do. If you don't like a specific living area, you can't change locations. Or if you're financially stuck, if you're around people you don't want to be around with, like let's say you're around a bunch of abusive, dysfunctional family members, right? And they're constantly causing your life a lot of chaos. They're constantly bullying you and shit like that. You can't move out, or you can't have your own car. You can't get out of that situation. Instead, you're forced to be stuck in that abusive situation due to finances. Or if you have a roommate that you don't like, that you're just very annoyed of, or not even that, but you just want peace. You just want to live on your own. You want privacy. You want to do your own thing. You can't even do that because finances keep you stuck from doing that. And not only that, but like in order for you to build finances, we all have the tools to create financial abundance. But what makes it hard for us is the fact that it takes time for us to invest, to make a plan, and to build credit, and to make multiple credit cards, and just build up stocks and just stuff like that. It takes time to do that. Don't get me wrong, I do believe in like what's the word, miracle collapse times or something like that. But at the same time, is like I do believe people experience their big break, but but for the most part, most people, it requires them to do a lot of work, a lot of planning. There's nothing wrong with that, but the only thing is that like it sucks doing that while you're in a situation you don't want to be in. Like if you're in a bad living situation you don't want to be in, or if you're feeling restricted, so like you can't create as much opportunities for yourself, or you can't really enjoy life like that, doing your own thing. People may say that like, oh, life's all about work, you can't do your own thing. No, like I feel like life is about enjoying your freedom, enjoying being a human. Part of being a human experience, in my opinion, is expanding your horizons and enjoying things that makes the human experience fulfilling. What's the point of reincarnating and being down here if nothing fucking like excites you or makes you happy besides work? It's okay to fucking travel and do things like that, but I don't know. But I feel like that's how life should be. But we've been programmed to survive, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, there has to be something, even there are times where I don't feel satisfied, but I know there's something in this world that makes me happy, at least when it comes to having fun or going out. I mean, it's easy to have fun. It's easy. There are things to do out here, there's like, you could go dance somewhere, you go to clubs, bars, or like stadiums, or just watching some type of sports games, or just anything where you just want to travel around. You go to different countries, just looking for some type of entertainment. I'm talking about on your off days, or like you don't feel like working, you just want to explore, you know what I'm saying? But or you want to go to a local beach, But like, yeah, but what also sucks is that like when it comes to finances, is like it makes a lot of people depressed, because in this society it's all based on survival. So you can't even have your own basic needs. You can't even have your own place you want to live in. You can't even, like, you're always in a constant survival mode. Like you're always in a constant mode of like worry, of uncertainty when it comes to finances and stuff like that. You know, with me, like the problem with me is that like I overspend a lot, but like how I look at it is this, man. Like if you have an abundant mindset, is like spending and overspending shouldn't be a problem because you should be generating a lot of wealth anyways. And things you do buying, if that's what you want and that's what you want, you know, if long as the things you want is not harming you. But like the problem is that like you should be making more money so you don't have to worry about overspending. And don't get me wrong, you gotta plan out your finances here and there, you know. But in this society, in this timeline we're living in, is like you can't really spend like that. You can't really buy the things you want. And so you gotta constantly be on. You constantly gotta worry. You constantly gotta worry about when's your next paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And then you got other dumbass people who like to steal, rob other people's money. So it's gonna make your situation a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? And the system is kind of rigged because like if you're making a little bit of money, in my opinion, a little bit of money is the average 9 to 5, average 6 figures. That's a little bit. How I view money is like abundant, like shit where like you could like that'll set you up for multiple lifetimes. That's my opinion of abundance. You know, that's generational wealth. But the average like 6 figures, billionaire, that's not a lot of money. It's really not, and it keeps you limited. The purpose, what I'm talking about, is not making a certain amount of finances, but being financially free, so you can literally do the things you want to do. But what sucks about this human experience is that like nothing is free, so we're constantly in survival mode. This is why people are forced to do things they don't want to do because of finances. This is why people are stuck in a certain living situations because of finances, right? And knowing that, but since we're forced to do things we don't want to do within these work situations, more than likely we're forced to be around people we don't want to be around with because they're on some bullshit or they'll cause some chaos and some type of inconveniences. And a lot of people report that. This is why there's a lot of fights in schools, a lot of fights in the workplaces. People don't get along. There's a lot of domestic violence and abusive households because people, they want to get out of their situation, but they can't, you know? So it's bullshit. This is why people rob and do crime and shit, you know? Because the system is so fucked up. You know, shout out to Chauncey one. He said like he made a good point. Like he talked about how there has to be crime and bad shit that needs to happen in this society because this world is already corrupt in itself. So if there's no crime, there's anything that's going on that people are going against the system, then that's going to be worse because the system's going to keep on running and people aren't going to see there's a problem with it. But just the fact that we have crime and people robbing shit like that, that tells you that there's something wrong with the system, right? Maybe the system was as corrupted. People want to be doing that shit. You know, and shout out to Chauncey one. He made a good point. You know, this is why people are in constant survival mode. This is why they got to rob. This is why they got to kill other people. This is why they got to do what they got to do to make ends meet. Some people are just flat out psychotic. I'm not talking about those types of people. I'm talking about people who have no choice but to do those things, unfortunately, you know? But I'm not talking about killing other people. I'm talking about like them having to rob and steal and shit like that, you know? And not only that, but like you see in stories where like people are stealing multiple clothes, multiple jewelry all over the internet. It's sort of all over the internet, all over the world, people are stealing, right? But yet we still getting charged. So, and they're able to get away with it, but yet people are still paying for stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is bullshit. You know, the system is so rigged, you know, and you telling me people like they could not work your whole life and you could go to, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working, but I'm talking about the imbalance in the system. So yeah, one guy who's a construction worker who buzzes his ass off every fucking day working in these extreme weathers, right? And he's trying to make ends meet doing construction with no benefits, you know what I'm saying? But then yet you have a fucking bum who doesn't do shit with his life, who doesn't do anything, but yet he or she goes to a fucking lottery and they win a fucking millions of dollars or over thousands of dollars and shit like that. That person's way ahead than the construction worker who puts in so much fucking work. You see how there's a huge imbalance within this system? And I'm not like, I hope it's not coming across. I'm not saying if you don't work for society. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is like, you see the huge imbalance? This shit makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. Like, this world is weird, man. Like, how we're in 2023, we still have homeless people. Like, how do we still have people living in the street? We still have people living in the street. You know, that shit makes no sense. I understand within this realm, within this human experience, it's all about the energy you put in. What you get in is what you're gonna get out. I understand it from a spiritual perspective, but for the most part, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this system needs to change. I don't have the answers to make the system a better place, but what I'm saying is that, like, without a doubt, there's a lot of money restrictions, and it gets annoying when you can't really fully live your life. You're just surviving due to finances. You know what I'm saying? There's why people say it's a dog eat dog world, because people are in competition with one another. People are like crabs. Like what's the word? They're crabs in a barrel bucket. So if they see someone succeed, they're trying to take that person down due to envy and jealousy. It's due to the system. It makes people competitive. You know, it's crazy, man. Yeah, this is weird, man. Like this world is weird, man. But yeah, but and I don't understand, like, you know, like it's just I don't know, and like then it forces people to be depressed. So imagine you're going through a lot of mental health problems and stuff like that, and then people are still got to get up and work, you know. You have parents, you have like a lot of like these parents, they can't spend as much time with their kids, or like they can't spend time with their loved ones due to work, you know, due to their obligations. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I had some family members that I don't get into my personal business, but like I know people who are like who they had to wake up at 4 a.m. and work their whole lives till like 5 p.m. and they've been doing it for like over 15, 20 years. And they're just sad because they can't spend as much time with their families and shit like that, you know? So it's fucked up, you know? The system's really fucked up. You know, there's no way in hell a human being should be fucking waking up at 4 a.m. then get off at work at 5 p.m. The person gotta wake up at 4 a.m. because the person's gotta drive through traffic and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? This is bullshit. If someone's gonna work that much, then they better be getting paid a lot of money to the point where they have financial freedom to do the things they want to do, and they want to have vacations whenever they want to have. But no, because the system is so demonic, it's so evil, it forced people to be in survival mode. I remember I watched this one video where like this guy was talking about from a spiritual perspective, everyone's living through their root chakra. Within this, from spiritually speaking, a root chakra means that like it's red, so you're in survival mode. Your root chakra deals with survival and other shit I forgot, but your root chakra deals with survival and your animal instincts, right? So as human beings, we're not supposed to be living our animal instincts. The only time we're supposed to be doing that is when we're in danger. But we're in 2023, and yet we're still in survival mode due to money. The money is no different than survival. So we're in a fucking covert war battle. We're dealing with a covert world war pretty much. People may say, oh, this timeline isn't as bad compared to back then, compared to World War One, World War Two, or back to when there's back to when there's like slaves and shit, or like back to when like just shit like that. But yeah, no, it's still bad because like it's a war. I mean, this has always been going on with finances, but it's covert. And with these energies, you got time speeding up, so it's forced people to be even more crazy. Just the fact that time speeding up, people don't have as much time for their personal selves and time to spend time with their loved ones. They can't do that because the days are going by extremely fucking faster, and nobody's questioning this. Like why the fuck do you have time speeding up? Is it a spiritual thing? Is the universe, is God doing this type of bullshit, or like what the fuck is going on? But yet, what amazes me is that like the system is still continuing despite time speeding up. This is why like when you sleep, it doesn't feel like sleep; it feels like naps. This is why whenever you get off work, it's already dark and it's already time to go to bed. This is why people are eating less and shit like that, because you got days going by extremely fucking fast ever since 2019 and shit. But yeah, this is bullshit. You know, so a lot of people are mentally ill because of society, because you're forced to go to school, you're forced to have a certain amount of grades, and then you're forced to work. So there's a lot of programming, there's a lot of expectations living in this society. A lot of people are unique, a lot of people are different. Some people don't want to go to school. And I remember high schools, if you don't show up to like school to a certain amount of days, or if you're late, then you get a fucking ticket. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of corrupt bullshit is that? That's no different than jail, because school takes up most of your time. So when people don't feel like going because they need sleep, or like they just have some mental health problems, first of all, these schools, they don't have fucking enough health care to take care of these fucking kids. And even when they do, it's a little amount. So, and is not the problem that they have less healthcare, or like they have less people that's able to take care of them. That's not the problem. The problem is like they're being overworked with all these hours. That's time consuming. You know, high school should have online, you know, like, bro, it's not that hard. But the reason why school is so outdated, and school is so fucking like it's been like school is always the fucking same despite all these years, is because it's run by a lot of corrupt people who has an agenda to destroy the system. No, it's run by corrupt people who are very evil and who wants to destroy human beings. But they're in charge of the school systems. This is why the school systems are the way they are, because all these teachers, they're not really teaching. They're teaching based on a fucking curriculum. And you know, so it all starts from a young age. When you're in kindergarten, your program. When you're first grade, when you're second grade, when you're middle school, when you're high school, it's a curriculum, it's programming. They don't teach you real life skills. They don't teach you about real corruption and how to heal your emotional body and your physical body. They don't teach you about proper nutrition and diet. They don't teach you about useful skills that you could be possibly interested in, like being a mechanic or just barbering and shit like that. Schools don't fucking teach you that. Even do teach you that, because sometimes they do. But when they do, it's very temporarily. But instead, you got to worry about math, reading, all this other bullshit. The only thing that's important to school is reading, doing the connections because you're around people, is reading, writing, a little bit of math, and English. You know what I'm saying? Or depending on what area you live in, learn that language, learn how to write, learn how to read, and some math. But that's pretty much it. And what they should add is learning about spirituality, or like learning about like what you believe in, learning how to use your right brain thinking through your creativity, finding out what your passion is. School should be about soul searching as well. School is so busy and forcing kids to do this, to do that. It should teach kids how to do soul searching. That's why they should give curriculums to where whatever, like they should give them options of what they want to do, or at least what they want to have an idea of, you know? So that way, like, if they're interested in something, they'll at least guide them on what to do and how to get there. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to change their minds, and they could pick something else. But schools, and schools have power to do that because of all the technology we have and the internet we do have in today's timeline. School's not gonna do that shit, you know? It's not. It's gonna force kids to learn shit they don't want to learn. This is why a lot of kids complain about school. This is why there's a lot of mental health issues and shit like that. You know, and the worst part is if you don't show up to school, then you get a ticket, or like they'll call your parents, and then your parents are fucking programmed. They don't know shit about how life works, and then they're gonna get mad at the kid, and then that's gonna cause more trauma, and it's gonna burden the kids and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a constant cycle like that. You know, and I'm not saying that everyone thinks like this, but like some people like school, which is good. But yeah, but like I said, we're all unique. So there are other people who don't like school. So it's a double-edged sword, you know. But school, they don't know that. I mean, I feel like they are aware. They just don't want to change it because they don't have the power to change that shit, you know? Especially in this timeline, you got time speeding up. You got all the spiritual information. We're in the age, we're in Saturn and Pisces. So, like, people are becoming more spiritual and shit like that. And then you got time speeding up. So, within these 9-to-5 jobs, these schools, people are going to have less time for themselves and shit like that, you know? But yeah, the society, it makes people sick. It makes people depressed because there are times where I don't feel like going to work, or I don't feel like going to school, you know, because with all these astrological energies and shit like that, even when I was in high school, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental health issues to where I couldn't even focus on school like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck was going on, but yeah, I didn't learn any of this shit until I got out of school. That's when I started to learn about spirituality, how it correlates to my mental health, how it correlates to what I put into my body based on my diet, exercise, sleep, rest, not being burdened with shit I'm forced to do within these school systems, you know. And I learned all this shit after high school, but yeah, I didn't learn this shit during school, so school's fucking useless, you know. So yeah, but this is bullshit, you know. Like, change the money system. But then what makes it worse is that, like, we still have third world countries, and I understand it's all about gratitude. Like, we could always be put in a worse situation, but what I'm saying is that how we're in 2023, and how come there's a lot of still evil shit going on, you know? So it makes you question, like, who controls the system? Who's responsible for this system? Who rules this shit? Who the fuck runs this shit? From a spiritual perspective, as human beings, we don't have access to our past lives, or, I mean, you could astral project, you could meditate and shit. I don't know, man. And there's guidelines on how to astral project and how to meditate. This channel named Sirius Inner Temple, he actually has a full guideline on his channel talking about how to astral project, how to go out of body experiences, how to meditate, how to activate your third eye. You know, he has a whole guideline of that shit. So, you know, so it is a real thing. But I don't know. So there's a lot of layers to, like, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to spiritual knowledge, when it comes to human knowledge. There's a lot of layers when it comes to it. There's always a spiritual side. There's always a spiritual side of something. There's always a spiritual side to it, you know. But so imagine living in an outdated world where you have a lot of spiritual information. It's hard to be in this society. You know what I'm saying? And since everything is restricted due to finances and shit like that, we're not living life. We are not living life. Life shouldn't be about having to worry about when you're going to have your next meal, when you're going to pay your next fucking bill, or how you're going to survive. Because clearly, as human beings, we can't live outside. You see how fucking cold it gets during the winter? That shit's uncomfortable. I don't like the fucking winter. I love the heat. I love living in the fucking tropics. I don't like living in the fucking winter. I hate that shit. I can't go out. I can't work out outside and shit like that because it's fucking cold. I don't like that shit at all. It's just dangerous living in the cold. You got fucking frostbite. You know, saying living in cold is fucking dangerous. You know, so clearly as human beings, we're not capable of living outside and shit like that. So clearly, why the fuck do we have to pay and work our ass off just to have our own place? And not even that, but when you're working at these jobs, it's not even guaranteed to have your own place. Even after high school, you know what I'm saying? In school, they don't teach you that shit. They don't teach you how to build your own house and shit like that. They don't teach you anything like that. So how the fuck, as human beings, we got to be a slave and to work for shit that requires our basic needs? We still got to pay for water. We still got to pay for food. We still got to pay for clothing. So, you know what I'm saying? So, we just live in a fucked up timeline. And then you have people that are going through worse within third world countries. It's bullshit, you know? Just retarded, man. Just fucking stupid. Damn, man. You know, so this is bullshit. So cause like this is why, man, like, man, this is bullshit. Cause like I be like living life and shit. I understand everyone kind of thinks like this to a certain extent, but we just kind of not brush it off, but we're forced to not focus on those things because we focus on work and our performance and shit like that. But it's just like this shit's annoying, bro. Like what the fuck that I did in my past lives and the things I've done for me to reincarnate into this fucking timeline to where like all this stupid ass shit like this happens. This shit makes no fucking sense. You know? Like there are solutions to every problems, but I think the main problem is in this fucking timeline we're in. Like who the fuck, like really, who controls this shit? Who's responsible for allowing all this shit to happen? Is it the people? Is it the government power? Is it the elites? Is it the other words I don't want to mention? Who the fuck is responsible for allowing all this bullshit to happen? This shit makes no fucking sense. And it's frustrating because we don't know, because we don't have access to our past lives. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm a firm believer of reincarnation and past lives. And there's people who talk about it. You can actually access your past lives through your Akashic records, through activating your third eye, through a lot of meditations with binaural beats at certain times throughout the day, and being consistent with it, and then learning how to astral project and experiencing out of body experiences so you can access the different realms and shit so you can know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? That's actually like seriously tell me, hey, like he has guidelines from that shit, but on how to do it. But me personally, I don't want to do all that because one, it takes so much fucking time. I don't have the patience, and just, I don't know, man. I mean, I might do it in the future, but I don't want to see fucking spirits and shit like that, you know. But like, it's just weird, man. This timeline is fucking trash, and a lot of people get traumatized. A lot of people have mental health issues because of this fucking society. As human beings, you know how much you see all these astrological energies that influence the human mind. Because human beings don't have free will. Our astrology controls our free will. This is why you have certain different moon cycles, like full moon cycles, Mercury retrogrades, and astrological influences that control our nervous system. You know, there's like some people experience soul ties, some people experience like health problems spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because like, go type up twin flames. There are certain people who can't get certain people off their fucking mind, and they feel their fucking energy and shit like that. That shit's a real thing. It's a real fucking thing. You may think I'm bullshitting, but no, it's a real fucking thing. So as human beings, we don't have free will like that. So it requires a lot of healing just to be a fucking human. That's why we have a fucking nervous system. We have a fucking heartbeat and a mind and shit like that. That's why it's easy for the human body to create trauma. It's easy for us to be programmed and to go through under MK microcontrol and shit like that. So it's not a good idea to have human beings work 5 times a day throughout every fucking day, and from 9 to 5. That's a long ass time where we don't have time for our personal selves and shit like that, where we're indoors all day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the government empowered some people. I feel like they're messing with the weather too, because there's no way in hell where because I really do believe Earth wasn't designed to be cold. Don't get me wrong, maybe cold winter months is meant to it's kind of like, what's the word? It's kind of like to kind of balance Earth, or like it's necessary to have cold weathers so like it could keep life living. Like, I don't know, you know, like like rain is good for Earth. Like it's healthy for Earth to experience rain. But I feel like it's not natural for it to be cold like that. I feel like Earth is designed to be hot. Well, not like humid hot, but like you see those tropical weathers where like it's nice warm weather in the tropics and these beaches and its beaches and in the fucking islands in Hawaii, how like it's nice and it's nice weather. Or like in Puerto Rico, you know how like the weather is so nice over there. I feel like Earth is designed to be like that. So because clearly as human beings we could live off of that weather. But we can't live off of fucking winter or when it's snowing like that, or if it's extremely fucking hot when it's humid. I'm not talking about hot humid. I'm talking about tropical weather. That's normal fucking weather for human beings. Unnatural weather is fucking cold, extremely hot, where like we can't even put our feet outside. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like these weathers aren't fucking natural. Because why would, if God is a real entity, why would God create human beings to where we can't even sustain ourselves outside? That shit makes no fucking sense. So why even create an existence to where they can't even live in its own fucking natural habitat? That shit makes no fucking sense, you know? And now we live in this timeline where like it's not even guaranteed and it's hard for us to work our whole lives just to have our own fucking place. That shit makes no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? This shit makes no fucking sense. If you don't show up to work, if you don't pay certain bills, you get kicked out of the fucking house. What kind of bullshit is that? That shit makes no fucking sense. You know, so this is stupid, bro. Like I feel like if you have logical, like the more you think into this, the more logic your mind is, like the more like how this shit makes no fucking sense. Like this shit is aggravating as fuck, you know? This is why when you're living a life, always do your best to get out of your comfort zone, try new things, do what you love. I know unfortunately this society isn't going to give you what you're looking for exactly. It could, but if it's not, at least trying to find something that's closest to the thing you enjoy doing. Make sure you actually genuinely love it. Don't listen to programming. But obviously, by default, we're going to be programming shit like that. But just at least do something. Like, if we're going to be slaves within the system, if we're going to be restricted, at least do something to where you actually enjoy doing that revolves around your talents, your God-given gifts, and the things you're naturally good at, so you become better at it, and then you can make more wealth, so you can generate more wealth, and then once you make enough wealth, you can use that wealth to, one, enjoy yourself, to enjoy your experiences, but to also help out the other world or help out your family and build generational wealth like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what life is all about in this fucking timeline, you know? But, yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. But it shit gets annoying how time is speeding up every single day. I ain't got time to do shit, man. It's fucking like me, I had to quit school. I had to drop out of school. Not because I don't like it, not because I don't care. I do love school. But I mean, I love learning because I'm bored. I get bored easily. So I might as well focus on something that'll keep my brain occupied. But like, I can't even do that shit no more. I don't have time to work out like that. I got so much shit on my schedule, which I love being busy. I feel like it's a blessing for me to be busy. But I had to cut off a lot of shit that I need to do because the time is speeding up so fast. You know what I'm saying? This is fucking crazy, man. Like, when I'm working, time still goes by fast. But, like, whenever I have off days and shit, I don't realize how fast time... whenever I have off days on the weekends, like, the days go by extremely fucking fast. I be observing this shit, and it's shit's crazy, man. Like, it's... So it makes me think, man, like, am I even meant to work at these fucking career fields or these fucking jobs? Like, at this point, if time's going to continue to speed up like that, why am I fucking working? Then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind working, but since time is speeding up, it's making me it's keeping me stressed out to where, like, I don't have time for my personal stuff. Not even that, but, like, when I'm doing shit, I like to take my time. So when time is speeding up, you can't take your time like that. So what the fuck is going on, man? You know, this is bullshit. At this point, should I just quit everything and not do everything because time is speeding up? This shit makes no sense, you know? Damn, man. But this human experience is so fucking aggravating, man, because not only we don't have answers on who controls this shit, we don't have access to our past lives, and we don't have access to spiritual information like that, or like everything is like all the foods and shit is so like it's all these fucking like it's meant to kill us, all these chemicals and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And then like, you know, we're like as human beings, we're just put there and we're forced to do shit that we don't want to do. So it's always important to question the system because no one's gonna do it for us. School's not gonna do it for us. These fucking bullshit ass TVs and it's not gonna do it for us. You know, but even with the internet, how do we even know if it's even accurate? I mean, it's closest to accurate, but you know, I don't know. But like, comment, subscribe, have a good one. Peace.